John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org, or J. Walsh Confidential, tweeting at Hollywood Dems. This is item 2, relative to Office of Finance reports requiring approval of record liens against taxpayers for unpaid taxes. This is $34,000 from the Absolute Herbal Pain Solutions. I could use some of those pain solutions, but it's $34,379.27. Again, when you do a good job, I'm the first to congratulate you. When you're a bunch of assholes, I call you scumbags. HollywoodHighlands.org.
Okay, Mr. Walsh, would you please stay where you are? We're going to take up a few items that you've called special. So on this item, members, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
We're going to move to item 50, Mr. Walsh.
Item 50?
50, yes.
Okay. Pass.
Mr. Walsh passes on item 50. Let's prepare to vote. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Okay, we're going to now go to item 3. Mr. Murphy, followed by Mr. Previn. Item 3.
Yes, item 3, I'm still against.
Okay, Mr. Previn. Mr. Previn passes. On item 3, members, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
All right, we're going to move now to Mr. Previn, item 21.
Good morning, Council President Wesson and Council. It is Eric Previn. Item 21 today is in CD2, our district. It's an offer to dedicate an easement for sidewalk purposes on the east side of Tujunga, south of Houston Street, or Houston Street, actually. This is right near, I know where this is. And the question that has come up is, on these particular ones, you don't provide who is getting the benefit right on the agenda, so it's unclear. And they are coming up with some money. They're coming up with $3,300. So as I asked you last week, if you could simply adjust that and make those notices like you do on the liens and some of the other identifying, because this looks like possibly a good thing for everybody, because I think there's going to be a little sidewalk put in. I think the person's going to be able to have some success with what they're trying to accomplish. I'm not sure. So I'd appreciate your adding that to the agendas in the future. Thank you. That's just 1 minute, sir.
Let's prepare to vote on that. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
We're going to now move on to item 55. Mr. Murphy, Mr. and Dan. Oh, I didn't see you. Come forward. Item 55.
Item 55, I am for. I'm sorry, folks. I'm for this item. Thanks.
Okay,
so,
Mr. Gus.
55, let me see. This goes back to 2008. It hasn't worked in 2009. It hasn't worked in 2010. It didn't work in 2011. It didn't work in 2012. It still didn't work in 2013. It didn't work in 2014. And as we close out 2015, it seems like it still hasn't worked. They say that the definition of, what is it? The definition of craziness or insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. You're offering the same amount of money, but you're not explaining why, because these rewards never work. And what you're not telling the public is that this money is taxable, it's documentable, so that if somebody does accept this award, if they give you the information, They're going to get about half of it because it's taxable. And when you live in certain communities, $25,000 is not enough to get you out of Dodge. Snitches do get stitches in this city. It's true. It hasn't worked for 8 years, and you're doing the same thing. If this city really wanted to do something about these death rewards for these poor victims, then you would double it to 100,000. If you really wanted to catch these killers, you'd quintuple it to 250,000. So for 8 years, it hasn't worked, but you think it's going to work now in the 9th year. It is taxable. It is not worth the risk of your life to turn in the person who did it. Snitches do get stitches. This is not enough money. If you really want to solve it, quintuple the amount.
Okay, let's prepare to vote on that item. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Let's move on to item 51. Item 51, I have Mr. Spindler and Mr. Walsh.
John Walsh, tweeting at Hollywood Dems. Number 51. Groundwater generated from dewatering activities towards on-site reuse. Again, I have to congratulate you. Southern California Water, the private corporation, poisoned hundreds of thousands of people. You did nothing here until it was on the media, on television. But DWP hasn't poisoned anyone. And let's face it, this city, it was called progressive. This city was a socialist city. We get our water and power from the government. And they do one hell of a better job than scumbag private enterprise. HollywoodHighlands.org.
Okay, Mr. Spindler.
Yes, groundwater. Now we're going to de-water our activities. Let's not hydrate our activities. Let's de-water our activities. Let's get the water out of our activities. And, of course, now we have the Bureau of Sanitation and the Department of Water and Power, two of the finest organizations in government history, winners of many awards for their great work for the people. Yes, they want to capture, conserve, and reuse water running off down storm drains with oil and chemical and pesticides and poison so that they can recirculate it and give it to us little people to use and bathe in and drink. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. All of that rotten water all filled in our bathtubs and our pools and our lawns. Yes, we don't have a right to clean, safe water. No, we have to use storm drain water with all that filth and drudge and garbage and filth and mud and chemicals in it. Oh, what a tasty thing that's going to be for our kids and all of our poor neighborhoods, because people in Beverly Hills aren't going to have to eat this kind of crap. People in Malibu aren't going to have to do this. No, it's for the people enslaved in the city of Los Angeles. No, they have to have filthy water, recycled and called safe. And then they have to be charged 20% more because the DWP is going to raise our rates. Go to the East Neighborhood Council meeting in Northridge tonight. They're talking about it.
Thank you. Let's prepare to vote. Oh, you know what, Mr. Koretz? I didn't see you on the queue. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to speak to this item because I'm not sure most people know what dewatering is, but it's the process of taking groundwater that would otherwise harm the lower parts of a building and pumping it out. And what we've done until this time is we pump it into the storm drain system and it goes out to the ocean and it's wasted water. So what we will require now is that it either be used on site for new buildings or that it will be put instead of the storm drain system into the sewer system and actually get recycled. So one way or another, dewatering, where the water is just wasted now, will now be used. It was put into the Green Building Code revisions in item 27 today, which I appreciate. And I want to thank Mr. Krikorian for his leadership in that direction, and want to thank Mr. Weezer for joining me on this motion. And I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Koretz. Madam Clerk, please open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Thank you. That's approved. We'll move forward to item 52. Nancy Volpert, then Mr. Walsh, then Mr. Spindler. Hi, go right ahead.
Good morning, members of the City Council. I'm Nancy Volpert. I'm the Director of Public Policy of Jewish Family Service of Los Angeles. Thank you for having this motion today. We are very excited that JFS is embarking on the first capital campaign in our 160-year history. We have been a presence in the Fairfax neighborhood for 4 decades, and we are in the process of beginning to develop and build a new campus that will expand our services in the community and install our roots even more deeply for the next century to come. This street dedication waiver will ensure that we have every square foot available to make sure that we can provide the community in the Fairfax area and throughout the city with the services they need for aging adults and others, and we really appreciate your support for this motion.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org, and this concerns the Jewish Family Services of Los Angeles. Bertha Berger was my grandmother. She was a Jew. I'm a Jew. It's very confusing the way you've written this. Any roadway widening and improvement for the project would cause impact the ability to successfully complete its project. I don't know. We don't want any roadway widening if it in any way negatively impacts Jews, just as we don't want Syrian refugees in this goddamn city.
Stay on the subject. Stay on the subject. Stay on the subject. Okay, come on. No, Mr. Walsh, go sit down, all right? Get out of the center aisle. Sit down. Mr. Spindler.
Well, this is in CD5, and hopefully, see, in CD5 we have different rules, like in CD11. We take care of our people over there, because over there, things are different than over here. Over here, to quote Elvis Presley, you're born in the ghetto.
Stay on the subject.
And that's it. You don't
no, that's not the subject, Mr. Spindler. Stay on the subject. I won't tell you again.
I am simply complimenting the fact that in CD5, Paul Koretz takes care of his residents when
You're
they
not
need
on the
something.
subject. Okay, last warning.
That people can get improvements on North Fairfax Avenue only because, simply put, they have a representative that works for their residents, unlike here and one in the ghetto.
All right, let's prepare to vote. Let's open the roll, Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
We'll move to item 11. Mr. Spindler, it's you and Daniel Gus. Item 11.
See, when issues get unresolved, I'll speak on a lot of subjects today. So we're actually putting some good street lighting into an area that's known for heavy drug dealing and violent crime, so that the next time a council member like Mike Hernandez wants to snort something up his nose.
Stay on the subject,
I am.
Daniel.
I'm talking about properly lighting a place that's known for violence and drug deals. This will make better lighting in those areas. It's nice that the city actually spends money on a neighborhood that actually needs it, so that when a current or a former council member goes in a city vehicle to buy drugs.
That's
like
not on the subject.
I'll bring it back.
Please.
When you buy drugs, it's very important to have good lighting so that you can safely make the transaction and you can get out of there.
Daniel, you're off subject.
Okay,
Thank you.
Just like Mike Hernandez.
Thank you. Let's have the next speaker. Next speaker.
Yes, we absolutely love this item. Thank you to CD8. Thank you for CD8 and Marquise Harris and this important lighting issue. When people are there as visitors, and yes, even if they have a prostitute in the car, they need to have proper lighting.
You're off the subject.
They need to have.
You know what, Mr. Spindler?
lighting.
I'm not putting up with this. Your time has expired. This has nothing to do with the subject. Okay, members, that's the last speaker on this. You want to go take a seat? Do you want to take a seat, please, Mr. Spindler? Oh, okay. You see that, Sergeant? I want to keep an eye on him. He's disrupting the meeting. Okay, now let's prepare to vote. Oh, Mr. Harris Dawson.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Just to clarify to those watching this conversation, this matter is to provide high quality and aesthetically pleasing lighting along Crenshaw Boulevard, the part of the city of Los Angeles that people will see first when they take the LAX Crenshaw line into our city. And so we're asking that this item be received and filed. And we're asking for the support of the members on that.
Thank you. Let's prepare to vote.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, that would take a second.
I'll second it.
Very good, sir.
Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
You know what? Let's move to the special. Why don't we recess, Mr. Clerk, and move into the special meeting?
Very good, sir. Blumenfield, Bona, Buscaino, Cedillo, Englander, Fuentes, Harris, Dawson, Weezer, Carrasco, Crane, Martinez, O'Farrell, Price, Rue, Wesson. 12 members present and a quorum, Mr. President. On the special agenda, items 64 and 65 are items for which public hearings have been held. A committee report for item 64 has been submitted and circulated.
All right, let's prepare to vote on these two items, 64, 65. Let us open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
That brings us where, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. President, that brings us to item 66. It's an item for which a public hearing has not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Okay, so without objection, this item is now before us. Mr. Walsh, followed by Mr. Spindler.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org, or J. Walsh Confidential, tweeting at Hollywood Dems. This is, again, watch out for these maps, because I'm speaking to the people out there, because sometimes you have to realize that you may be living in a area that's zoned for 40, 50-story buildings, or they may sneak it in here. Remember, number one in this city is developers. So we have to fight developers. That's what happened to Sportsman's Lodge. They're tearing it down for big developers who suck the mayor's cock.
Mr. Spindler?
Yes, on this item, pay attention to D, 11801 North Porter Ranch Drive. And that is in the area where the gas is being leaked out of these areas. So in this final track map, I believe the Porter Ranch Development Company has to make new disclosures involving the issue of the toxification of Porter Ranch and Sempra Energy's gas company leak. Tomorrow, from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock, KFI's John and Ken will be in Porter Ranch to discuss that matter for residents. So please be there or listen on 640 AM KFI.
He is
Thursday.
not talking about this item, Mr.
And
President.
11801 North Porter Ranch is right into that pocket area. Because now, are you going to be able to drive there, build there, and be safe? Are these tracks being contaminated by this deadly gas seeping into the ground, causing little children to bleed from their noses? Is it safe? I don't think it looks safe to me. So I imagine these track maps were not drawn before that terrible gas leak was known. Also, CD5, the Quimby fee of $138,425 will go to our wealthy areas of CD5 for parks, because people in CD5 need more open space, because we have very little open space in the Sepulveda Basin. We need much more. So again, these track maps on D, pull D, because Mitchell Englander, you need to look at that and make sure these people are not being toxified, or is Mitchell Englander sucking the mayor's dick?
Let us prepare to vote. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
And, Mr. President, given council's impending recess, would you like to send those matters forthwith?
Yes, without objection, we'll do forthwith.
Very good, sir. Do you wish to adjourn the special and return
Yes,
to the regular?
return to the regular, yes.
Very good.
Okay, what we want to do now is we want to move into closed session, I believe it is, and the items are, the item is 63. And I don't want any disruption from you in particular, Mr. Wass, so please sit down. Could we clear the room? Can we clear the room? We're going to go into closed sessions. In fact, we won't clear the room. We'll go into the back. And so I do have... No. Okay, so anyway, members, we're going to retreat to the rear of the chambers for closed session.